Hi, I'm Dronius, and welcome back to the channel. I'm just looking at some fan art of the new starter Pokemon that were revealed alongside the 9th generation of the games. Aw, they look so cute. Although that duck reminds me of someone. And no, it's not Donald Duck, as funny as some of those memes were. Nah, it's reminding me of a certain duck character I saw 7 years ago, but I can't place my finger on it. Maybe if I look through Twitter a little bit more. Now that makes sense! When it comes to cartoons and anime and you think of the term retro, shows from Cartoon Network, Nickelodeon, Disney, and Toonami are the ones that'll pop in your head. Whichever series you grew up with, they have a big part of our childhoods, and we all like to go back and rewatch them due to how impactful they were. While I was looking for the new starters for Generation 9, Quaxly, the new water-type Pokemon, reminded me of a retro anime I've watched a while back. A show that was so unique in how it tackled themes and subjects, and I'm surprised it was still labeled as a children's show. And it's a series that was never released in America.
I have the power, and I say this to you. Let the National Crow Party have all the power, and give all your support to the party!
Whoa, hey!
Alfred J Kwak is a Dutch-Japanese anime series based on the original theater play of the same name, created by Dutch stage performer Herman van Veen in the mid-70s. The series ran between 1989 to 1990 and follows our main protagonist for this adventure, Alfred J Kwak. The time setting that the show takes place in feels inconsistent for the most part, like the technology and the clothes the characters wear look like something from the late 20th century, but at some points they're often seen traveling to locations from different time periods and even space itself, using machines that look like they're from the distant future. So explaining what kind of adventures our main character goes through is kinda hard to explain and something that should be watched for yourself. The aforementioned Alfred was born as the son of Joanne and Anna Kwak. In episode 1, Johan's longtime friend, a mole named Hank, introduces him to Anna and the two ducks hit it off slowly but surely, which leads to them getting married and starting a family. From the first episode, you get a calm but whimsical vibe of what's to come from the show. The atmosphere feels pleasant. Characters interacting with each other feels third-dimensional and natural, even down to their expressions. By the way, those two crows you see on screen, keep them in mind, they become important to another character I'll talk about later. And when Alfred and his 6 other unnamed siblings are born into the world, seeing our protagonist interact with the environment with curiosity in his eyes is a lot of fun to witness. But all of that hurts in retrospect when the first half of episode 2 starts. One rainy night, the family decides to relocate their lost shoe of a house to a different location. On the way there, Alfred wanders off by himself, something that was already established in the first episode, with Hank chasing after him before the kid gets lost. As the rest of the family continue on their path, they have to walk across this road to reach their destination.
Hey Alfred, stay with your family or you'll get lost. Huh?
Where's Mummy? Where's Daddy?
Moments like these are why I wanted to make this video. This is the first of many themes this show touches on, and they won't dumb it down for a PG rating either. Alfred J Kwak is a series that won't hold back on handling dark and controversial subjects. Now that's not to say that this was the first show to do this, nor is it the last. Plenty of other cartoons and animes have done stuff like this, and each one does a good job of handling it. However, while reading the script, I found an old review of the show on IMDb dating back to 2002. In it, someone mentioned how Herman made up the characters and the stories in the comic books for UNICEF, a United Nations agency responsible for providing humanitarian and development aid to children worldwide. They asked him to create a series of comic books to point the reading children at bad things in the world and its past, but without boring them. The books in question are rare and hard to find, so I wasn't able to see any contents from them, but the more I thought about it, the more I realized how well it might have transitioned into the series. In one episode, Alfred meets this black duck named Winnie. She and her family are refugees who escaped from their home country after it was taken over by white geese, which is a subject on racial segregation that took place in South Africa during the anime's airing. And they were on a train leaving for Alfred's hometown of Great Waterland. After he helps Winnie's parents sort out the problems in her country, she joins Alfred on many of his adventures, effectively becoming the standard love interest for our main character for the rest of the show. Also, you guys remember those 2 vultures from earlier? They're an early foreshadowing to our main antagonist, Dolph. Oh boy, where do I even start with this dude? So Alfred J Kwak is one of those anime shows that lets their characters age into adulthood at some point. Alfred starts off as a baby duckling whose whole family got bodied by oncoming traffic, but thanks to Hank raising him as a foster parent, he later grows up to be a carefree guy and manages to get bitches unlike some people on Twitter. He becomes someone who cares about his friends, family, and everyone he comes across. So much so that he'll even throw himself in harm's way just to protect the people he loves and doing the right thing. Dolph, on the other hand, is the polar opposite. We don't see his parents after the pilot episode, but it's later implied that his mother died very early and his father neglected him due to alcoholism. This led to him starting off as a bully in the beginning to slowly becoming a merciless dictator, an arms dealer, a reckless politician, and an overall criminal as an adult. Episodes 22 through 25 are an allegory of the rise and fall of fascism and Nazism, with Dolph himself looking like a clear caricature of a certain someone we all despise. I would go on and on about other themes the show tackles, but doing that would spoil the entire series. And Alfred J Kwak is a show I don't want to spoil. These themes are far from typical in a children's show, and they're good enough to get the creator of the series cancelled in a millisecond, but that's what makes the show special, and it forms a big part of its appeal. It covers racism, poverty, abuse of power, saving whales against hunters. Hell, it even depicts an evil magic lady turning into a bad bitch in an attempt to seduce Alfred despite already being in a relationship with Winnie. Aside from that, the anime also touches on friendship, solidarity, living life to the fullest among many positive aspects. So don't worry, not everything is gloomy and doom. 52 episodes over the course of 2 seasons is a bit of a commitment, but it's still a retro anime I recommend to anyone that wants a show where it doesn't hold back on its themes and subjects, while keeping the viewer entertained the whole time. The series never got a lot of home media releases back then, and in some languages like Japanese are considered mostly or entirely lost media. If you're an English-speaking viewer, then you're in luck. Assuming you're okay with the UK English dub having thick British accents, there's a YouTube channel that has the episodes remastered in HD using AI upscaling. This specific channel also has the entire show in Dutch, Netherlands, and Spanish, so for those who speak in those languages, there you go. I'll leave the link to the channel in the description down below. I mentioned in the beginning that Quaxley from Pokémon reminded me of Alfred. In retrospect, I'm happy that it did, because when Scarlet and Violet comes out later this year, I'm definitely getting that duck as my starter, and I'm naming him after the character, as a nice little homage to the obscure anime that deserves a second chance in the 21st century. I just hope that it doesn't get a reboot of some kind. The show has a lot of aspects that wouldn't fly in today's standards, and if they go through with it, I can imagine the reboot being dumbed down for a PG rating. I mean, look at this! If cancel culture saw a character that looked like Hitler, I could see them going on Twitter and complaining about it like it's the end of the world!